Hi, and welcome to Discover Meditation. I'm your host, Alex Schubert, and this show is all about learning about mindfulness and meditation. So we're just going to jump into it today. We have a lot to talk about today and focusing on compassion with some compassion meditation and also starting now with a nice breathing meditation. So getting comfortable, and we're going to start this meditation the way we start most meditations, by getting in a comfortable, sustainable position. The nice thing about this meditation is that there's a lot of different ways to position yourself, but the key is that you're in a position that you can maintain for the length of this meditation. We want to allow us to take nice, full, deep breaths. You're welcome to leave your eyes opened or closed. If you leave your eyes open, then find a spot in front of you to gaze at, allowing your eyes to slightly unfocus. And as we begin, take a moment to adjust your position as needed. And starting with a nice deep breath, holding it for a few seconds, and slowly letting it out. Repeating if needed. Allow your breathing to normalize. There's no need to change your breathing, making it unnaturally deep. Instead, just allow it to happen, not forcing it in any way. Breathing is something that happens without effort, without thought. Bring your attention to your breath, finding a point where it is most noticeable. This might be where the breath enters your nose or mouth, where it enters your lungs. Or you may notice your abdomen as it rises and falls. Maintain that attention, noticing what it feels like to breathe. A gentle rise and fall with each breath. Notice the qualities of your breath. Is it cool or warm? Smooth or ragged? Just labeling, not judging. Instead, just observing it as it is. If you are new at this, you might want to count your breath. Counting 1 as you breathe in and out. Continuing until you reach the number 10. When using the counting method, you may notice that your mind has wandered. When that happens, just return the count to 1. There's no need to worry about getting to 10. And counting is just a way to focus your attention. As thoughts arise, just noticing them, labeling them as thoughts, and bringing your attention back to your breath. This may occur many times throughout the meditation. It's okay. Thoughts during meditation are normal. There's no need to judge this as good or bad. It's just what the mind does. Some find it helpful to picture their thoughts tied to a balloon, floating away. or floating down a stream. Just gently bring your thoughts, bring your attention back to your breath, letting your thoughts go. Noticing the in-breath and the out-breath, rising and falling. In and out. Staying in the present moment, allowing it to be as it is. There's nothing you need to do in this moment other than be here, now. Being present with yourself. It's not easy to bring your mind into this moment. And just the act of being aware of your impatience or your mind wandering, of your fantasizing. All of that is meditation. Always just bringing your attention back to the breath, back to this moment. Okay. And that was a simple breathing meditation. Something you can do at any time and any place without anyone noticing. It can be useful to bring ourselves into the moment, to stop the rise of difficult emotions, to give us the opportunity to think before we speak, to act with intention instead of just reacting. And as I said earlier, today we're going to be speaking about compassion, of loving kindness. And this simple exercise we started with is the gateway to compassion, to patience. It starts with just our ability to stop and think, to not just react to that impulsiveness, to impulse to say something maybe hurtful to a loved one, to react strongly when somebody cuts us off while we're driving or bumps into us when we're at the supermarket, or when that person with 11 items goes in the 10 item or less line. Gives us the opportunity to decide how we're going to react. To see if maybe we can react with a little more empathy. Empathy is that ability to put ourselves in another person's shoes. Something that's definitely different from sympathy. Something that's often confused by people. Empathy is deeper than sympathy. Sympathy is that ability we have to tell somebody we're sorry that they're having a bad day. Sympathy tends to be what greeting cards are made up of. Sometimes fairly shallow, well-intentioned, but with no real depth to it. Empathy is that depth. Empathy is our ability to think, what might it be like to live as that person? To go through what that person may have gone through? What might that person be experiencing who is in such a rush that they're willing to jump in front of another person? Or maybe they're not even aware of other people. Empathy is not the same as saying it's okay that they cut you off. It's okay that they said something nasty to you. This is not an excuse to act poorly towards each other. It's just a way of building that understanding within ourselves, for ourselves. The reality of things like anger and impatience, frustration, is that we're the ones who are really affected by that. That holding on to grudges over the years does not damage the person that we're holding on grudges about. They may not even know it, but it certainly hurts us. It may hurt us in psychological ways, through depression, through anger outbursts, through substance use. It may hurt us physically through things like ulcers, heart attacks, strokes. We are hurt when we hold on to these things. This idea of compassion benefits others, of course, but also has a huge benefit for us. And that's really going to be our focus here. Because while it would be great if we were more compassionate to each other, the world could certainly use that. At the same time, we have to start with ourselves. Compassion starts internally before it manifests in the outside world. And the hardest person to be compassionate towards sometimes is ourselves. Sometimes it can be very easy to see somebody who's homeless and struggling and feel empathy for them, for compassion for them. But when we're struggling, when we're having a tough time, well, not as easy. Not as easy to understand why we're struggling, why we're stressed, why maybe we don't want to do things for other people that day, why maybe we don't even want to get out of bed. It's harder to have compassion for that, to have acceptance for our own difficulties. First, we'd have to admit that we're not perfect, which, much like anyone else, I hate to have to admit, but it's true. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect being. But we have to have compassion for that. We have to have acceptance of our flaws, of our weaknesses, of our own impatience at times. And so a lot of our compassion is going to have to start there, with that internal process. And in a little bit, we're going to do what is called a metta meditation. M-E-T-T-A, metta, is a Pali word. It's an ancient language that comes from regions around India. But loosely, as we use it, it translates to loving kindness, two English words that we know very well and unfortunately don't use together often enough. But that idea of being kind in a way that is much fuller than just surfacey kindness, fuller than just sympathy. And we'll practice this meditation, and this is a meditation that can have a big effect. I just, in fact, did it with some clients yesterday, and one of the people who was in the group shared a lightness that she felt after doing this practice. And it can be a lightness, that idea of letting go of that heaviness that is anger and impatience, fear. All of that can feel very heavy and can weigh us down. And it can be light to get rid of some of that, to work with it, let it go. Other things that may come up sometimes are tears. It's not unusual for somebody to cry during a loving kindness meditation, metta meditation. Is there anything wrong with not crying? No. Is there anything wrong with crying? Of course not. Whatever your reaction, it's okay. But we're going to work together in this. We're going to work together to experience this metta meditation. So we're going to take a short break, and during this break would be a good time to find a position, place, a chair, something you can sit in while we do this loving kindness practice. And we'll be right back.
So far as combat is concerned, I think the stress is going to be the same in any kind of a war. World War I is called a shell shock. Then we came up to World War II and it became the psychoneuroses, and then we came into Korea and it was battle fatigue, and then we came to Vietnam where PTSD really started.
I had learned about stress in flight school, but combat stress is a lot different. You can become a detriment to your unit. You can become a problem. You can become a problem at home. You need to have the strength to go and get help.
You have to make them know that if they get in trouble, there's somebody to help them, and all they got to do is reach out. There's no stigma in it.
Ask your squad leader, platoon sergeant for help. If you get shot up, you don't hesitate about going for treatment. But a lot of times you can be wounded in your mind. There's absolutely nothing wrong by bringing that to other people's attention and asking for help.
I'm Sergeant Josh Hopper, United States Marine Corps.
He did 2 tours in Iraq, fired thousands of rounds, saw lots of casualties, IEDs. The person he was before those deployments and when he came back, he was a different man.
He was really distant. Mood swings was a big thing. Drinking a lot. We fought constantly.
I couldn't sleep. All I think about is these negative thoughts. I just walked up to my CO saying, "Sir, I've had all I can take. I need some help."
The CO actually personally picked up the phone and lined up inpatient treatment.
It seemed like from that day on, when I would go to get treatment, go to my classes, things like that, things started getting better.
Returning to full health and clearances and everything else, I actually respect him and trust him more now because of the fact that he had a problem, he had an issue, he brought it to me. Together we figured it out, we fixed it, and he's as good or better Marine now and in the future.
It takes real strength to swallow your pride and to say, "I need help," and to go actually get the help.
Hi, and welcome back to Discover Meditation. My name's Alex Schubert, and today we're talking about compassion. We're talking about loving kindness. So before the break, we were talking about the basic concepts behind the metta meditation, the metta practice. And today I'm going to lead you through a basic metta meditation. Again, there's all sorts of variations. I'm sure if you Google it, you could spend hours finding different ways to do this practice. So this is only just one possible way. It's not so much important which style you use, which words you use. This is all about intention. This is all about the intention to feel compassion for yourself, for others. And as long as you have the intention to do that, this meditation is a success. Well, if you can define any meditation in terms of success or failure. But again, we're just intending to be compassionate in this moment. So we're going to start this meditation by taking a nice deep breath. Taking a moment to focus on your breath, using it as an anchor. And we're going to begin this practice by thinking of a time that you did something kind or compassionate for another person. This could be a time you helped someone in need, or said a kind word when someone was struggling, or just took the time to fully listen to another person. Allow yourself to feel that compassion, that kindness, feeling it as fully as possible. Now directing that feeling of kindness towards yourself. Use the following phrases, or ones that resonate with you. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May I be safe. Repeating the phrases to yourself as if saying them to a friend. This may be difficult at first, but just reflecting on the wish to feel these things, to feel this compassion, this peace, saying the phrases to yourself. May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I be peaceful. May I be safe. Now letting go of yourself in your mind's eye and shifting the focus of your attention to a loved one. This is someone in your life who is very important to you. Someone who has shown you kindness and compassion. This could be a friend, a family member, a teacher or a mentor. Anyone who is easy to cultivate feelings of loving kindness. It doesn't even have to be human. Fully picturing this being in your mind and saying the following phrases to them. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. May you be safe. Allowing warm feelings to flow from you, feeling the deep connection with this person. Now allowing your focus to shift from your loved one to someone you feel neutral about. This could be someone you see frequently but don't know their name, or someone you have brief interactions with but no real connection to. Picturing them as fully as possible and saying these phrases to them. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. May you be safe. Now shifting your attention to someone in your life who you find difficult. This is not the most difficult person in your life, but just someone who you may have had disagreements with, who you find irritating. Picturing this person fully in your mind and saying the phrases to them. May you be happy. May you be healthy. May you be peaceful. May you be safe. Just fully allowing that intention for this person to be free from suffering, even if you find it difficult. Just allowing that intention, if you can. Now shifting your attention away from that person and bringing to mind all living beings on this planet. Bringing that compassion to all that we share with the desire to be happy and free from suffering. People in other countries, women, men, children, animals. Saying the phrases to all with the intention for all to be free from suffering. May all be happy. May all be healthy. May all be peaceful. May all be safe. Allowing ourselves to fully feel a swelling of kindness and compassion that we can hold on to and maintain throughout our days and within all our interactions with others. And this, like I said, was a very simple metta practice. Again, more time can be spent building those feelings of compassion. This was a very short example. But through consistent practice of this meditation, many people find a feeling of connection to others. They find an ability to interact in a more peaceful way with others. And it's been studied, and here's the clinical psychology piece, but it has been found that if you interact with other people in a calm, accepting manner, that people actually do interact that way back. It's very hard to be angry at somebody who is being compassionate with you. Of course, it's not foolproof. Humans are unpredictable sometimes, but even to increase our likelihood of positive interactions can have a huge difference in our lives. And again, even if no one interacts differently, remembering that this practice is for you, is for your well-being, your psychological and physical well-being. And this practice has been shown to have that impact. And they found, even with people who struggle with extreme disconnection, people with schizophrenia, which is a disease that has a huge portion of disconnection from others, from the world. This practice and practices like that have been found to have a huge effect on that connection, which then in turn, of course, has an effect on one's symptoms, whatever they may be. And all psychological illnesses have that piece. Depression is all about disconnection, and this can help to build that reconnection. So however you may use this practice, the more often you do it, much like the more often you do any meditation, you're more likely to see the benefits. So, with that, we will be ending our show today. Thank you again for joining us, and I look forward to bringing more meditation to you in the future. Be well and take care of yourselves.